Routines. We all have them. Some are more intense than others, and some people are more handcuffed to their routine than other people. But I think we would all agree that having a routine can be helpful. And that's especially true when it comes to groups. Now I know that groups have their ebbs and flows through the year where sometimes you're meeting super consistently, and then there'll be a couple weeks where because of vacations or sickness or whatever it may be, maybe you go 2 or 3 weeks without meeting. And it's hard to pick it back up. You may be experiencing that right now with the Christmas season, and you guys have decided to take a couple of weeks off around the holidays and the new year. So the question is, okay, how do we re-engage? How do we get everybody back on board and meeting again consistently? That's the tricky part. But this is where you as a leader are gonna have to do a little bit of grunt work, right? A little of rallying the troops back together. And so here's just a couple things I want you to think of as you think about, okay, when it's time to get back together, how do we rally the troops up again? First, obviously, just pick a restart date. Ideally, this would be a date that works well with everybody's schedule. But as we all know, that's tough and it's hard. It's hard to have 100% attendance every week, especially when you're meeting consistently. And so when you've been off for a little bit of time, it's going to be just as hard, if not more difficult, to find a time and a date that works for everybody to start at the same time. So you as the leader, do your best, but just pick a date. And here's what I would encourage you to do. Just make that first gathering social. Don't jump back into the deep end, but reconnect with everybody, especially if it's been a couple of weeks. See how everyone's holidays were or how their vacations were, what they got to do, who they got to be with. Share a meal, or maybe even just coffee and dessert. Just do something to spend time with one another and catch up on the previous couple of weeks. I would encourage you as a leader, maybe take 5 minutes and do a short little devotional, maybe sharing what God has taught you during your time off. But other than that, just keep it social. Make the purpose of it being together again and just getting back into the groove, back into the routine. I also encourage you to take a few minutes to just remind the group, hey, here's why we meet, here's what we're doing, here's the purpose of why we are together, and if necessary, decide on what you're going to study together for the upcoming semester. We have a video on that earlier in the year about sermon discussion versus other resources, and so you may need to go watch that as a little refresher. But as your group, determine, hey, here's where we're going. Here's where we're going this semester. Here's what we're going to be doing. Here's what we're going to be studying. And then third, and this will probably take a little bit of homework on your side, but have a calendar ready to go. Not that you have to have one printed up, but maybe that's your style and you want to do that. But have a calendar that has important dates on it. Maybe dates that you know ahead of time. Hey, we're not going to be able to meet this week. Church activities, holidays, just so that everybody's kind of on the same page, big picture. Obviously, plans change. We have to adjust things as we go throughout the year. But if everybody kind of starts on the same page, you're at least kind of headed in the same direction to start the year together. And so I hope you have enjoyed some time off around the holidays. And we're grateful for what you do as a leader. But now, rip the Band-Aid off, get everybody back together again, and begin meeting again consistently. As always, I'm here to help in any way that I can and to talk through and be a sounding board for you if you need anything like that. But thank you for what you are doing for our people, and I look forward to another great year with you.